made a few mistakes, but I'm improving. I'm human, but I've been making daily resolutions. I got to. You might do it different, but I'm not you.
Hey, Mark.
I'm self-made. I'm
Hey, Mark.
doing things that I
Mark.
was never taught.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Hey Mark, the podcast where I, Mark, get to have open and authentic conversations about, struggles that we go through, mental health, self-development, just basically talking about the tough conversations that not everyone wants to talk about and we don't get the opportunity to talk about on a daily basis. I just got home from work and I just parked and I just kind of wanted to, get this off my chest or talk about this openly, and I just kind of wanted to do it before I walk into my place. I just want to kind of hit refresh on my brain before I leave my vehicle. So let's jump into it, right? Without beating around the bush, this is something that I speak about on a consistent basis with you listening to this, right? And this is something that I talk about, and it's really hard to, I guess it's easy to talk about and it's really hard to implement into our lives. And what I'm actually talking about is, I guess it's easier to start off by saying, today I had a fucking rough day mentally, right? Like nothing really in particular happened. I guess I've just kind of been reviewing a lot of my actions recently, a lot of my behaviors, and I'm not really proud of some of the ways that I've been acting. Sometimes things happen in our lives that trigger emotional responses from us. And, we're not intentional with our actions. We're just reactive with our actions. And so I guess you could say, they're not really actions, they're reactions. And so it's just a response to how, maybe the universe is kind of treating you, or how the people around you are treating you. But it's kind of just like reacting emotionally instead of, acting in a way that you'd be proud of, or acting in a way that you normally would behave, or, and I've kind of been having those thoughts today. And it's given me that fucking just shitty feeling. Like I gotta be real with you. It's not fucking good. You get that feeling in your stomach, that pit in your stomach. Like, almost like you have this like weird frog in your throat. Like you kind of like, just, I don't know, really not feeling good today. And I think part of the reason is just because I've been, ruminating and replaying all of these like kind of situations in my head where, recently, and, when you go over like recent behaviors and recent, responses to things that have happened in your life, then obviously it digs up kind of behaviors or responses from your past as well. When you're just ruminating and thinking about all these things that, you're not really proud of, or you're maybe embarrassed of. For me, a lot of the times, like my emotions can get the better of me, and I'm just an emotional guy, and it's not an excuse. It's just me kind of coming to terms with it and just being a little bit more self-aware. And so many times, our emotions get the better of us and we react in a way or behave in a way that we're not proud of or that embarrasses us. And if you're like me, sometimes that emotion is anger, sometimes it's sadness, sometimes, it could be anything. But sometimes I let my anger get the better of me and I say things that I don't mean, or I do things that I wouldn't normally do. I react in ways that I normally wouldn't react. And then that in turn makes me even more mad. I'm mad at myself then for being mad in the first place. And so I guess I'm bringing this up for a couple reasons. The first one being, look, like if you ever feel this way, if you're ever just like reflecting or ruminating or repeating all these fucking events in your head and they're starting to piss you off or make you anxious, like you're not alone. This shit's happening to me right now. And the other thing I'm trying to, bring it up, the reason I'm bringing it up is because I think that this is the appropriate thing to do. I think that talking about it, starting a conversation with maybe your loved ones, your family, your friends, or, anyone really, just having a conversation about how you're feeling, maybe some of the things that you've been doing recently, and just kind of having a conversation with someone to try and gain some new perspective on it, or at least just get it out of your system and not bottle it up. Like, that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now, is just get this all out of my system so I can kind of, listen to myself speak about this later on and reflect on it even more. But I want to use myself as an example for anyone who's listening to this and kind of feels like they maybe are in a similar situation, or they have been in the past, or maybe they know a friend that is. We all have those days where you just feel like fucking garbage. You just feel embarrassed and pissed off. You feel like you're alone. You feel like, maybe all the progress you've been making recently has just been gone. It's been flushed down the drain because, you've reacted in a certain way, or you've behaved in a certain way. And sometimes it just feels like one step forward, two steps back. And it can be probably the most frustrating thing, especially if you're working hard towards this type of progression. But it's just a reminder that we're all human. We all make mistakes. And, it's a matter of owning up to the mistakes that you make, understanding that you're human, you're flawed. It is what it is. You're going to make fucking mistakes. And all you can really do, instead of just reflecting on it and being pissed off about it and being embarrassed and making yourself sad, or however you start to feel, reflect on it and try and break down the situation and try and use that as a lesson. Try and use that as an example for yourself later on in your life. When you get pissed off, or you get angry, or you get anxious, or you find yourself, flustered and not really knowing what to say, or you find yourself maybe about to say something fucked up, or something that you wouldn't normally say, or you're about to do something that you wouldn't normally do, like, just really take a second to breathe and reflect. Like, are you being present? Are you acting in a way that you would be proud of? Are you acting in a way that you would normally act? Are you thinking, the ways that you'd normally be thinking? Or are you thinking, thoughts that you don't normally think? Are you thinking about things that maybe seem like unhealthy coping mechanisms? The best thing, I guess, that I kind of can catch myself doing, and obviously this doesn't happen 100% of the time, otherwise I wouldn't be having this conversation right now, but one of the most important things you can kind of, use as a tool is, a lot of the time when I find myself pissed off or frustrated or upset about something, I try and think of what advice I would give to my best friends if they were kind of in that situation, and then I try and give that advice to myself, if that makes sense. So that's kind of a way that I guess you can disconnect yourself from your issues and have that like third person perspective, or that bird's eye view of, what's going on in your life. So I know I'm kind of all over the place. I'm kind of scrambled right now in my own head, and I'm just kind of trying to figure this out, to be 100% honest, because it's just something that's been racking my brain all day. But yeah, if you find yourself pissed off or upset, or if you find yourself thinking about times when you were pissed off and upset, maybe, where you reacted to a situation in a sense that, maybe you weren't proud of your reaction, or, like I said, it embarrassed you. You're not alone. You want to talk about these fucking issues, even though it's difficult. And the third thing is, I guess, use that as a lesson, and use that as a guide for the next time that you might get frustrated or upset. That's pretty much all I got today. I'm going to go in. Like I said, I just finished work, so I'm going to go in and shower and have like a late lunch. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope that if you're listening to this and you felt like this in the past, then you feel a little bit less alone. You feel like you're a little bit more connected to the people around you, and to me as well. And I hope this gave you a new perspective. I hope this helped you out. So thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for listening, for watching. That's all I got for today. Much love and peace out.